Beep, 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 beep. Yes, it's once again the court of the Edijester. How the devil are we, folks? I've had a busy few days, actually, because I've been teaching the good peeps, the warrior teachers. Fantastic. Yesterday, we looked at the protected characteristics of sexuality. So all manner of faggotry, including, Polari and things of that nature. Bits of history, which are interesting. Yep. So come and join us. Come and be a warrior teacher. You'll have a ball, and it's also informative, and it helps me keep going, which is the most important thing as far as I'm concerned. Other than that, if you can buy me a coffee, please do, or please join my Substack, currently at £2.50 a month, so it's on offer. Other than that, I've got a great piece for you today from the Committee for Academic Freedom from EDS Kids on the 13th of March 2025, and it's in regards to the Stonewall, which still limps on. It's like, why don't you just go away? That's what I think. Stonewall should just go away. So let's have a read. As usual, you'll find all information about this in the Dubris down below. And the title of this is How Stonewall Corrupted British Higher Education. So here we go. Stonewall is crumbling. I hope so. That's all I can say. I hope that Stonewall is crumbling, and that the sooner it crumbles, the better it'll be for everybody, right? Stonewall is crumbling. Over the past few months, several stories have revealed how the LGBTQ rights organisation is slowly losing influence with British institutions. You can see there's some links there included in this text from Committee for Academic Freedom. In January, the Times reported that several of the largest ministerial departments were no longer part of the Stonewall's Diversity Champions programme. I mean, could we be happier about that? Can we just get a yay? Can I get a yay? Because Stonewall are in a bit of trouble. I mean, I think that's always fun to imagine that they are. And with a bit of luck, it will stay that way, right? So crumble away, dear Stonewall, is all I can say. Likewise, several institutions of higher learning have abandoned the initiative over the past few years. This is worth celebrating. I certainly agree with that. Stonewall has had a pernicious effect on public life in the UK, particularly in the higher education sector. A closer look at the policies enacted by universities to please the organisation testify to the extent of the damage done. Through its Workplace Equality Index, the WEI, Stonewall ranks institutions based on their progress on lesbian, gay, bi and trans inclusion. Although this may sound innocuous, the scheme incentivises universities to organise mandatory trainings, institute promotional policies rewarding conformity, and encourage a general culture of silence on controversial topics. You ain't kidding. You ain't kidding. The CAF, which is the Committee for Academic Freedom, has obtained WEI submissions from 13 out of a total of 24 Russell Group universities using Freedom of Information requests. This is the Workplace Equality Index there, WEI. These submissions reveal the corrosive influence the programme has had on UK higher education over the years. Of the 13 submissions we obtained, we selected 5 for close analysis. These were from the Russell Group members which performed best in the WEI rankings over the past 5 years. In other words, these are the top folks. These are the ones that Stonewall went, yes, this is exceptional, licky bummy, and we're going to reward you for it with a nice little brown nose. Right, so Bristol, Cardiff, Imperial, Manchester, and Sheffield. Now you'll know I've covered Sheffield's nonsense before, if you remember rightly. Been there, done that with them. Some of the policies outlined in these reports have since lapsed, but most remain in place. Taken as a whole, they reflect the sort of initiatives incentivised by Stonewall in universities across the UK. A WEI report is essentially a very long questionnaire about the university's policies and attitudes on all things LGBTQ+. The areas covered range from training sessions for staff and zero-tolerance stances for certain viewpoints to ideological criteria for promotion and official positions taken at the institutional level. So you get that. Ideological criteria for promotion and official positions. Do as we say, tick the boxes, get other people to do it, and if they don't promote them. It's just absolutely surreal. Absolutely surreal. Below, we review some of the most egregious examples from the WEI reports. We'll go with this one, which is my personal favourite: mandatory training for staff. In the second section of the 2020 WEI questionnaire entitled The Employee Life Cycle, the employee life cycle, strange, just honest to God, universities are asked to estimate what percentage of employees with recruitment responsibilities have been trained on reducing bias and discrimination against LGBT, only they've taken the Q off, LGBT people. For further guidance, the document states that such training should reach as many employees who recruit as possible. Sheffield University, one of the top performers that year, proudly boasted of a mandatory online module that all chairs of interview panels are required to complete. Apparently hoping to score a few extra brownie points, the Sheffield report even mentions plans to introduce mandatory training for all staff on unconscious bias and ED&I essentials. They are revolting, aren't they? CAF has been unable to confirm whether this plan has been carried out, though. However, it appears that unconscious bias and/or EDI training is mandatory in several departments, including health science and chemistry. These are what people need to understand is that what they're trying to force people to do are psychosocial interventions. They are not harmless, right? These are psychosocial interventions. They are designed to influence your behavior, not just in the workplace, but outside of work. Psychosocial intervention. Somebody needs to sue somebody about that. In newer versions of the WEI survey, participating institutions are asked if they provide such training, but are not required to estimate the share of their employees who have undergone it. Instead, they are instructed that the training should be provided to all employees involved in recruitment, not just HR teams. It's just surreal. It's absolutely surreal. In addition, the survey provides examples of what they call best practice to be shared during the training, such as keeping a checklist of inclusive practices that recruiters complete when they carry out a recruitment round. One item on this checklist for recruiters could be sharing their pronouns at the start of the interview. Just unreal. Best practice. That means going beyond the law, by the way. Unreal. Sharing their pronouns. I mean, just she, he off. Please go away and leave me alone. A 2021 submission from Cardiff University reveals that it has two sources of training for colleagues involved with recruitment. The first is a chair panel training, which is mandatory for anyone leading a recruitment panel for either staff or students. The second is recruitment and selection training, which all other staff members involved with recruitment are expected to attend. The university emphasises, this is Cardiff, that equality, diversity and inclusion runs throughout both of these sections, and that the trainer will reference all protected groups. Likewise, Imperial College London's WEI report from the same year boasts of similar training for staff. CAF, the Committee for Academic Freedom, has previously reported on ideologically motivated training at London institutions. So they're still at it. It's still there. It's still embedded. They'll take Stonewall out, and the nasty little gender-addled grievance journals and the DEI and EDI goblins, or gremlins as I call them, will still be situated in the universities. This needs to stop. It needs to end, full stop. People should say, I'm not going. I'm not doing it. End of story. It's time for people to stand up. I'll have nothing to do with your psychosocial intervention, which is essentially neuroeugenics in order to nudge people with behavioural teaching into essentially communism. But that's just me. Anyway, you tell me what you think, because I think it's atrocious is the word that I would use. I don't know. I don't know how we end it at this point, other than you, yes, you, I'm talking to you. Get up and do something. Just say no. Sorry. I'm not doing that. No. What they're going to do, sue everybody? Stop doing it. I'll see you later, though. Hey? Have a great day. More tomorrow. Bye-bye.